Why is it so hard to let go of control? I was just doing a meditation and all of this was coming up, that there's a part of me that's running a certain pattern, a certain familiar pattern that brings up fear in my body and a very strong desire to control a thing. And it isn't very effective. It wants to control an aspect of life that it has no control over. Does this resonate for you? Where in your life do you have something you are trying to control? Whether it's financial, something in a relationship, some kind of situation. And the reality is, we can't control most things in our experience. But what I'm aware of is what I do have power over, power in relation to, and that is awareness of my experience. I can't control what I feel. I can't control what I think. And it's not about control. I now know this. And yet the pattern's so strong and it doesn't want to let go. So when we go inward and connect with this part of ourself, it is so profound what happens. It's like bringing this into the light. I happen to experience it through visualization, and I see the part of me. She's younger. She's trying to help. She's working so hard. She wants to be enough. She was showing me and telling me this. She wants to be enough. She wants to feel worthy. She wants to feel like she's doing it right by trying to control. And all the feelings that she brings into my body that other parts of me are not thrilled about. Other parts of me just want it to all stop already because of all the ways it interferes and affects my life. And it's so beautiful as I continue to go inward to remember all of these aspects of me that I'm not giving attention to. And when I say I, it's my true self, my beautiful true self. That is the essence of me. All these parts are aspects of me, part of myself, but they're also like patterns. They have their own agendas. And they will take over. They do take over when we are out of awareness of what's really happening. It doesn't work very well to try to shut them down. Anytime we're up in our head, this masculine energy of just do it, just push through that fear. Not that there isn't relevance or benefit in that sometimes. But if that's our primary strategy, is to just ignore all of the things and do the thing we're afraid of. Now, is that and can that be empowering? Yeah. But what I have found is if I want something to shift into more harmony, balance, and ease, and I want it to stick, I'm going to clear the pattern, not just try to subdue a part of me down. It's very interesting how much more foundational and actually transformational it is when we can realize all that we truly are. We are not our limitations. We are not our external circumstances. They may be defining who we are. They are not who we are. See what resonates for you. If you resonate that you have a true self, soul, beautiful, loving energy, and that is truth, that you know, everything else can't be real then. What we feel is real. Beliefs can feel real. Knowing is at a whole other deeper level of consciousness in my experience. And when I do take the time to tune in with love, allowing aspects of me that want to be seen, heard, validated, loved, to be there and really listening to them. This is what the work of internal family systems, there's other teachings, inner child work, and it's not about digging deep to fix what's wrong, because there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong, but there's pain. There's pain that we ignore. We have parts of us that are going to protect us from that pain. That's what they're going to do until we help them. Be with them, appreciate. This is all here for us. There is nothing wrong. Really learning that the external circumstances that we have been allowing to dictate the level of our worthiness, to free ourselves from that. True freedom. And this has been the reality of my journey now for a while. And I can get frustrated. I've got parts that get really frustrated. It's like, why do we still have to work on this? Why can't these little parts fully get it? If I can have this beautiful awareness, and then other parts of me are in the dark. But it feels so beautiful every time they come into the light. Every time they come into light, it's bringing more ease and harmony for these parts, because there's nothing wrong with them. Nothing wrong with them. They can feel like they have a very strong purpose for you in what they hold. They just don't realize it's outdated. That they created this way back to protect you. And now it's no longer needed. And they don't know that. We have to show them. But if we're not aware of the pattern, something coming in as a trigger that we just keep trying to control without the awareness, we're stuck in it. Then we focus on making the circumstance change that's on the outside so we can feel better and stop that trigger. It's all about the feelings. If we were okay feeling all feelings, we would release so much of our struggle. But this is the journey. This is the journey we're on. Beautiful consciousness in a physical experience as a human. And if it is possible, I believe it is truth, that we create this on purpose to have this experience. Not in a sufferable, can feel like suffering. And it's a pretty big, it was a pretty big awareness for me when I realized, wow, well, if I'm creating all this, and it's not that I'm consciously creating all this, but it becomes conscious when you tune in. Because it's so beautiful to expand, to come into a high level of awareness. All is happening for me, not to me. And I'm not a helpless anything to it. Then I step into my power and not power over anyone or even myself. And then I don't have to control anything. I don't have to change anything. The part that keeps looking for the evidence that this thing is changing so it can feel better, we're just being with it. Just be with it. Be with the beauty of all that you are. And this can be really challenging for many of us, and we can really benefit from a guide. I didn't get here alone. But the daily practice that I choose is to be with myself, all of me, every day, just about every day. And when I miss those days, I just don't feel good, meaning there's just angst. We don't have to go digging. It's just inviting in what's here. And if you feel called to work with someone, I am available. This is what I love to help people do. To be able to go inward. Create the space for yourself to come into stillness. We need this so much. And yet parts of us might continue to avoid that. I guide people when they're ready. You'll know when you're ready. You'll know when the next step, when it's time for that next step. This is what I love about spaces like YouTube and other places where we can post content where it just speaks to something. We hear something in a certain way and it's just the thing we needed to hear. And we open up a little bit, and maybe that could be right now for you. I go to my heart. I see that as the connection to me, my soul, my beautiful true self. Immediately starts to bring more connectedness and ease into my body, which allows me to open up to be present for what is here, because my true self energy is there to be with it. Instead of I'm all alone and I'm triggered, that's scary. That's so scary. Who wants to experience that? We're going to avoid that. Learn a different way. There's always a different way. There's always another option to help you know your truth, to help you feel the feelings that you're avoiding in a very safe way. And for some people, it needs to come in from more of a therapist. My background is as a therapist, and I'm speaking right now as a more intuitive spiritual coach. If you feel unsafe feeling your feelings, that's where we might need some more help in the mental health arena. But I also want to encourage, you can do it. You can do it, and you're not alone. Please reach out. The links are below to work with me, and you can continue to follow along. I'll be creating and sharing videos I'm inspired to share with content that resonates for my journey. So we're all connected. We are not separate. And when I share, I'm sharing with myself. I'm honoring myself, and I'm honoring all that you are as well.